Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first ever West 11 Sports Media podcast. I'm Cody West, and we're joined by Keith Logan. Keith, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Very excited to talk about Littlefield sports.
Yes, sir. Well, that's the thing, is you and I have kicked around for a while now a bunch of ideas regarding the podcast and what we're going to talk about, and we kind of left it as a blank slate. One thing we did want to talk about today, however, is the previous week of happenings in Littlefield High School sports. Of course, we've got softball and baseball going on. We've got some track meet results to pass along here, but it's been a busy week, and it's just that time of year. Spring is always busy, and the week leading up to spring break, the Wildcats and Lady Cats had a lot of excitement.
Yeah, they was able to win a couple games, and it's, getting ready for district. That's one of the big things you want to do in your non-district, get you ready for district so you can have compete for a district title and possibly have a deep run in the playoffs.
Well, let's start off with probably the biggest story of the week in Littlefield High School sports, and that is Bryson Calloway throwing a no-hitter on Friday night, March the 11th, versus Lamesa on the road at Lamesa's field. The Wildcats won the game 5-0, but Bryson Calloway had 17 strikeouts and gave up no hits in the game. And it turns out that was the very first no-hitter in Littlefield High School history.
Yeah, I mean, he just had a great game. He started off really hot. He got in trouble, and that's one thing about a no-hitter. It's one thing, sometimes there was times that, possibly the no-hitter was going to be broken, but he, stayed in there. He had a little help from his defense, but for the most part, every ball that was hit was in the infield. He was able to keep the ball down and low, and he struck out 17 players. I mean, that in itself is an accomplishment, just, double-digit strikeouts.
Taking a look at the statistics for Bryson in that game versus Lamesa, he pitched all 7 innings of the game. He faced a total of 23 batters. He threw 109 pitches on the night, of course allowed no runs to come across, 17 strikeouts, no hits, and only 2 walks. And there were a couple of times, Keith, where we thought it may have been in jeopardy, a couple of errors committed by the Wildcats, putting some runners on base for Lamesa, but overall the final statistics show that nobody got a hit for the Lamesa Golden Tours, and Bryson Calloway is going to go down in the Littlefield High School history books.
Yeah, like you said, it was kind of a weird no-hitter. Error by Seth Clayton was a blessing, so to speak. I mean, if he was able to get that ball if he was able to field that cleanly, or just didn't get the runner out, he could have possibly threw out the no-hitter. But sometimes it's better to be lucky, and that's one of those things where the error actually helped the no-hitter.
Yes, sir, and the final score was 5-0. Previously, on Tuesday night of last week, the Littlefield Wildcats beat Denver City in come-from-behind fashion. Final score was 6-5 at Wildcats Field. So Littlefield is beating some good teams, kind of where we were hoping to be at this point of the season. Only 2 losses, and I think both of those losses, one to Childress and one to Seminole, both of those losses could have gone the other way, and even though we're sitting here with 6 wins and 2 losses on the season, Wildcats could be undefeated at this time.
Yeah, especially that Childress game. I kind of throw that one away for the most part, just due to the fact that everybody was coming back from basketball. Some of those those guys came off of playing in the playoff game earlier that night, from last night, and they were able to come out and play Saturday, and good performance. But it was some things that you just obviously it was probably a district game, probably would have subbed out some players and different stuff like that, but it was kind of one of those kind of growing pains, and you kind of have to see exactly what you have going into district. So I imagine if it was a district game, things definitely would have played out a lot differently. Taking
a look at the Littlefield Lady Cats this past week, they had 2 games. Both of them were at home. Back on Tuesday, they played Idalou. They lost to Idalou by a score of 14-3 in a game that was called at the end of the 5th inning due to the mercy rule. But then the Lady Cats came back strong on Saturday and defeated Estacado. Littlefield jumped out early. It was 4-1 at one point. Estacado came rallying back, and then the Lady Cats pulled it out. Final score was 6-5. Littlefield on top, getting some revenge over Estacado. You and I called that game here at West 11 Sports Media, and that, to me, that was the best I've seen the Lady Cats play this year.
Yeah, and they came out really hot, was able to get 2 runs in back-to-back innings, the bottom of the first and the second inning, got 2 runs. And then they had to kind of battle back. Then they kind of let Estacado back in the game, but, it's one of those things that you definitely needed, going for in district, to have to battle back, play with a lead, and also close the door.
Yes, sir. And so the Lady Cats, of course, get that win, and hopefully that's something they can build on there with a win versus 4A Lubbock Estacado on Saturday. Taking a look at some track and field results, the Littlefield Wildcats and Lady Cats track teams were at the Shallow Water Invitational last Thursday, March the 10th. Taking a look at the team results, the Littlefield Lady Cats finished in second place in the team totals with 105 points. They were behind Shallow Water, who had 217 points, but they finished ahead of Idalou, Slayton, Muleshoe, and the Shallow Water Junior Varsity for the Lady Cats. Individually, for Littlefield, just running down the list, Jones finished in second place in the long jump with a leap of 16 feet and 1/2 inch. In the triple jump, Smith came in fourth place with 31 feet 2.5 inches for the Lady Cats. Edgman took first place in the discus with a throw of 124 feet 8 inches, way ahead of the second place finisher who was at 98 feet from Shallow Water. Edgman also came in second place in the shot put with 31 feet and 1/4 inch. She finishes there at first in the discus and second in the shot put. Fernandez came in second place in the pole vault with a vault of 7 feet even. The Littlefield girls 400-meter relay finished in third place with a time of 51.37 seconds. That's the sprint relay. In the 800-meter run, Reed came in third place with a time of 2 minutes, 37.41 seconds. In the 100-meter dash, Littlefield did very well in the girls, finishing first, third, and fourth. Jones took first place with 12.8 seconds. Griggs with a time of 13.56, and Balderas with a time of 13.76 in fourth place. The Littlefield 800-meter relay for the girls finished in fifth place with a time of 1 minute, 56.46 seconds. Cueto came in third place in the 400-meter dash with a time of 1 minute, 8.54 seconds. Smith finished in first place in the 200-meter dash with a time of 25.49 seconds. And the mile relay, the 1,600-meter relay, came in fourth place with a time of 4 minutes, 33 seconds. And again, the Lady Cats finish in second place in the team totals at the Shallow Water Invitational. The boys didn't have as many athletes competing, Keith, but you've got the results for the Littlefield Wildcats at Shallow Water.
Yeah, the varsity boys team totals, they finished in fifth place last. But for the most part, long jump, we got Douglas that finished in sixth place with 18 feet and 8 inches. In the pole vault, we have Christan that finished in fourth place, 10 feet 6 inches. And then also the 4-meter relay, Littlefield got fourth with a time of 45.9. And then also Griggs was able to get in the top three in the 100-meter dash with 11:40. But like we mentioned, they did finish in last place, fifth place, and I imagine there wasn't a whole lot of athletes that competed, but I'm sure they're going to bounce back this week in the next track meet.
Well, the thing is about track, it's a numbers game, and a lot of times you can, at least in the team totals, you may not have a lot of first and second place finishes, but you can rack up those points in the team totals if you have a lot of kids. And obviously, the Littlefield boys track team didn't carry very many to Shallow Water. So, but still, congratulations to each one of those individual athletes for the Littlefield Wildcats and Lady Cats as well in Shallow Water. So, we covered baseball, we covered softball, and we covered a little bit of track for our very first ever podcast here at West 11 Sports.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your help. Anything else before we head out?
Not much. I mean, just I know we're going to have a lot of games coming during spring break, so if you have an opportunity to come out, for the most part, they're free. You come out, the kids are out of school, and hopefully you can bring your kids and have a lunch or something like that, because most of the games are during the day.
Yes, sir. All right, Keith, appreciate it. Thanks to all of our listeners and all of our support here at West 11 Sports Media. I'm Cody West. Have a great day, everyone.